Hey guys. Hey, Wheatfield. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another intuitive session here on the episode of Tears and Wheat Tarot with your channeled messenger, Lati, using messages from the source, the infinite intelligence who speaks to us through all things. Yes, I believe that the infinite intelligence, the wisdom, that principal thing that created all of creation with our source, the logos is intelligence. Yes, called us all. And in that calling and creation, it left a word and imprint on everything in creation. And that everything can speak to us because we are all connected in this big realm of creation. So, with that being said, we said that we were going to speak on the law of intention and desire. It is the fifth spiritual law, and it is insanely important. I mean, like, it is a pivotal thing here because what we have intention and desire on are the things that we manifest. Yes, it is. See, we are pure consciousness, pure potentiality, pieces of the infinite intelligence itself, and we have the ability to create all things, all of our intentions and desires. Yes, we can create it. We can use our source material to and wield it and create anything it is that we want. Yeah, anything that you desire, that is. With intention, you can do it. And when you couple your intention with attention, putting some attention on the things that you intend, you can bring forth those desires. Yes. We were considering to bring this message, we were considering going back to that principal thing, wisdom, that which we are composed of, the source of the infinite, right? That which made all things. So I consider everything and how it speaks to us, right? And then I think about what I am truly made out of, my true essence. So since we are truly, in essence, pure consciousness and potentiality, we are pieces of the source. And I am a physical being, a spiritual being, spirit, a spiritual being in a physical body, in a vessel, a vehicle. And inside of this vessel, in the vehicle, is me, my spiritual self. And I get to go in there all the time in the kingdom where my true self is and see what is my true desires, my intentions, that which is good for my highest self, the self that lives in the kingdom. What is good for that self? In order for me, my conscious mind, to find out what my spiritual self really wants, I have to go in the kingdom. Right? And we have to sit there and rest there so that whatever I am desiring, whatever my intentions are aligned and in line with my highest good. That piece of me that is the source. Yes, that big, because I'm all potentiality, I'm all pure consciousness, right? And my source, my essence, my true me is spiritual. And in my spiritual self, I have abilities, the ability to manifest my own world. I can potentiate my own world. All of my intentions and desires cannot bring forth. So let's jump into this spiritual law and see how is it that we're doing that. All of us, we're doing it on a daily basis. And everything in our world pretty much is based on intention and desire. Either we have the remnants of what someone else has intended and desired and afflicted upon us or offered and contributed to our experience, or we are sitting with the manifested results of our own intentions and desires. And depending on your spiritual health, your intentions and desires that show up will look very different. The ability and how quickly you can manifest and change your life is also dependent on your spiritual health and connectivity. So, in order for anything to have a good informational flow, have a good flow, it must be free of blockages and breakdowns. So if your body is able to give information and receive information, because it is a vehicle, and it processes information and energy. So your eyes, when it brings in energy and light, right, then it can take that and formulate the pictures. Our connectivity helps us see the same world. We process the energy and the light in the same way. Therefore, we can have a shared conscious experience, right? And so, since we can share an experience, we can use the remnants of that experience as material to manifest. Yes. And based on how we feel about that experience, if we have not purged, if we have not released, then we could be manifesting based on what we perceive and not necessarily what is revealed, right? So we may perceive an intention or a desire, something that we look at, covet, and say, I want that thing, and I'm going to go and get it. I'll manifest it and bring it into my life. But what can happen from that standpoint is that we call in things that are not good for us in our ascension. It is not fruitful in terms of pressing creation forward. Right. It may give you what you need, want momentarily, what you're desiring, but that desire isn't aligned with your highest good if it doesn't manifest sustaining forward motion for creation to continuously expand. And as you are a piece, a nugget, a morsel, a pixel of creation, your expansion is the goal to reach your highest self. So in order to get your desires, what's good for you, you have to go into the kingdom and commune with your spiritual self and clear out those blockages so that you can have your information flow in rhythm and receive your downloads. You can have source give you and reveal onto you the intentions and desires that will lead you to your highest good. And there is a principle law to operate on to do that. So let's dig into it now that we've got that out the way. We got to get back to the first page here. It says, in the beginning there was desire, which was the first seed of the mind. Sages, having meditated in their hearts, have discovered by their wisdom the connection of the existent with the non-existent. So the connection of the manifest with the non-manifest, right? The fifth spiritual law of success is the law of intention and desire. This law is based on the fact that energy and information exist everywhere in nature, everywhere in creation. In fact, at the level of the quantum field, there is nothing other than energy and information. That's it. Just energy and information. When you break us down to the most granular level, to our chemical substance, there's nothing but information and energy. Okay? So then at that point, the quantum field is just another label for the field of pure consciousness and pure potentiality. It breaks down to you, your essence. Pure consciousness, pure potentiality. Because you at your essence is wisdom. You're the infinite intelligence. You are the kingdom. You are the walking essence of the source. And this quantum field is influenced by intention and desire. So you can look at this in detail, right? A flower, a rainbow, tree, blade of grass, a human body, when broken down to their essential components, are energy and information. Yes, the whole universe in its essential nature is the movement of energy and information. The only difference between you and a tree, beloved, is the informational and energy content of the respective body. So it goes back to composition, right? We have all the same material, but how we're composed in concentration and bonded by carbon is different, right? So the way that carbon bonds carbon dioxide, right? It's a combination. It's bound by carbon. Di is two, oxide, oxygen, right? So it is, Spirit is just reminding us that we're made of the same elements across creation. And that's just really that. Spirit says you don't have to get too deep with it. They understand. On the material level, both you and the tree are made up of the same recycled elements, mostly carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements in minute amounts. Basically what we just said, what we were trying to say. Spirit says it's in the text. We can just read it. You could buy these elements in the hardware store for a couple of dollars. Yeah, you could. The difference is therefore between you and the tree is not the carbon, the hydrogen, or the oxygen. It's not, because we're made of the same things. So that's not the difference. But in fact, you and the tree are constantly exchanging your carbon and oxygen with each other. Yeah. The real difference between the two of us is the energy and in the information. In the scheme of nature, you and I are a privileged species because we have a nervous system that is capable of becoming aware of the energy and informational content of that localized field that gives rise to our physical body. We experience this field subjectively as our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, memories, instincts, drives, and beliefs. This same field is experienced objectively as the physical body. So we have the subjective and the objective. The objective is the physical body. And through the physical body, we experience this field as the world. But it's all the same stuff. That's why the ancient seers exclaimed, I am that, you are that, and all this is that, and all that is all there is. The body is not separate from the universe. The body is not separate from the spirit. It is not separate from the world. It is not separate from the cosmos. It's not separate from source or any other cells. The body is not separate from anything. The body is connected to all that there is, and all that there is connected to the body. And it shares information with all that there is. So when we say here at this channel on Tears and Wheat Tarot that we use all that there is to bring information to you all, because we use all that there is. Because all that there is a part of us. And I am a part of all that there is. I could never be alone. I could never be disconnected. Because I am engulfed and composed of, concentrated, saturated, connected to, woven into everything there is. And if I'm included in everything that there is, and everything that there is included in me, then I could never be alone. The feeling of being alone is an emotion. And again, that's one of the things that we experience objectively or subjectively in the physical body. We have an awareness because of our nervous system gives us an awareness. Our CPU control system helps give us an awareness. And because we are aware, we must come into remembrance that our true self lives in the kingdom. Our first self, our composite, lives in the kingdom. Our essence is here. And when we remember what we are made out of and where our essence lies, then we can go in there and we can have it speak into our heart space. We can clear this out, release all the gunk, get that oil changed, we got to get that oil changed so we can clear this heart space out, because we need this energy center clear so that when we receive downloads, we can feel it. When we go in here, we can have that information go up. We can feel it. It can sit in our mind, our mind space, our heart space, and be discerned, right? It's processed here. But we have blockages in this processing center. Some of them are burned down, feeling like to ashes and need to be rebuilt. Some of them are just locked up and sealed with heavy chains and gates. Some of them have brick walls and towers around them, and some of them are just wide open. Some are appropriately guarded. We have, it's out here. But for the most part, I feel the blockages, the towers, right? I feel open gates where people are either bleeding out or they can't get anything in. There's the balance for those is to remain balanced, to be supported, to be connected. Yes. So there's, we have our connectivity is useful on all the way around. But to clear out this heart space is what's going to help us, speak out what we need. Because if we have the conflict and chaos here, what we seek in the kingdom is going to come up against resistance. And what we speak out of this voice box that commands the universe is going to be conflicted. The results that we receive back are going to be mixed and conflicted. Is going to represent more chaos and conflict than it will the peace and the bliss that you actually desire, what your true self desires. Peace, wholeness, unity, right? That is what your true self desires. But how do we clear out this heart space and clear out the confusion so that what you are intending and what you truly desire can have the proper focus? Speaking it out from the correct space, a space that's called to your highest good. And then we can bring those intentions in. This chapter 6 out of this text on healing, I have to read this poem again. I have to read it. O Son of Spirit, Spirit of who? Spirit of the Most High God, of the Logos, yes. Son, you, we. O Son of Spirit, I created thee rich in the kingdom. You are rich. Your true essence is pure potentiality, pure consciousness. I created thee rich. Why dost thou bring thyself down to poverty? In your mind, we come down to poverty, lack. We're not whole. We're missing something. We're incomplete. But we were created whole. In the spirit, in the essence, is whole. It's complete. It's missing nothing. It's pure potentiality. Why dost thou bring thyself down to poverty? Noble I made thee. Why dost thou abase thyself? Out of the essence of knowledge I gave thee being. Why seeketh enlightenment from anyone besides me? The source in its spirit is intelligence. Created us. It's intelligence, the infinite intelligence of the Logos created us. So to seek understanding and enlightenment from anything other than the infinite intelligence of the source is saying, why? Why? I have everything and I made you from everything. To seek enlightenment is to seek inside of self, to go inside and seek diligently. Ask for the answers and it shall be revealed unto you. You will be guided. The books will come. The seers, the guides will come. The information will come. Everything will come. You want to start a business, you'll start seeing ads for the business that you want, for the school, the tools, the skills that you need to do that thing. You want a new car, you'll start seeing that car everywhere. You'll see it. It is what we put our intention on. Out of the clay of love I molded thee. How dost thou busy thyself with another? Why would we busy ourselves with anything other than the source, is what intelligence is saying. If intelligence made you, it is your maker, it is your manufacturer. Why would we seek counsel from anything other to tell us who we are? intelligence of the source says to seek inside. If you go inside, it will deliver onto you all that you seek. Turn thy sight into thyself, and thou may find me standing within thee, mighty and powerful and self-subsisting. Mighty and powerful and self-subsisting. Standing inside of me. Ooh, come on, Spirit. Tell you we feel. Tell them what? That the infinite intelligence walks within them, that they are made from it, that they cannot be separated from the source, that they are walking pieces of the kingdom, that the kingdom resides in them. Yes, they are carriers of the covenant. You, my wheat, carry the covenant. You carry the promise. You carry the infinite intelligence within you. Yeah, you do. Each and every one of you. The promise is with you. We seek out and we're waiting for the promise. It's already here. It's already in you. We're waiting for the Father to return, for the messenger to return. No, it's already with you. You are it. You are the source. You are the Son of God. You are a walking, living testament of the source. The kingdom of the Lord is in you. The kingdom of the source. It is. And in the text that I was reared on, it says, when the promise was given, that the source told us there is none beside. Moses said, Father, you will send me to have Pharaoh release your people. And Moses said, well, who shall I say that sent me? And source says, tell them the am that I am sent you. Now, I always find it odd that the source says that I am that I am. But when I came to the realization that the source is all things, how could you ever call that? At that point, it just I am that I am. And I took that on to self to say, coming into unity with all the pieces of me means that I am that I am. You are who you are. Before you were birthed out into physicality, you had no name. You were spiritual essence. You weren't given a name until your presence was felt either inside your mother's belly or when it was seen on the outside of your mother's into manifestation. Were you given a name? Before then, you had no name. Who can call your spirit? Who can name that? If you can't even name your spirit, your true essence, itself, just your highest self, then what would we call source? But the I am that I am. And if there is none beside source, source is intelligence that it uses to create and manifest all things, like that's it. Everything is source in its intelligence, like that is all there is. Then I know that I am intelligence. And that basic knowing allows me to create my intentions. I can go into the kingdom because I know it's where it is. I know where to look. I know where to seek. And once I go in there and seek, it asks the source to reveal onto me my highest desires. That is good for my highest self. Ooh, the downloads I get dropped on me, y'all. But we had to clear this heart space out so that we could believe. And then we had to get this voice box, what we would speak out in alignment with what we believe and what we know and what we feel in the spirit. Those intuitions, that downloads that was coming in, intuitive downloads from the spirit. Yeah, to bring all of that into alignment so that I could speak life out. Refrain from speaking death and doubt and unbelief, disbelief upon self or others, or on the world that I see around me. I know what it is. I can pick up the energy of it. But that doesn't mean that that's all that there is. And how I place my intentions and desires affect the is. I'm a ripple, and so are you. And you have the ability to affect this whole timeline. You have the ability to affect creation. You do it anyway. But your intentions and your desires will determine what the effect will be. You have the infinite possibility. How will you use your power, my weed? How will you manifest? You are an alchemist. You carry the covenant. You have the power. You carry the promise. How will you use your power? How will you manifest? Will you go inside the kingdom and find out what your highest, truest desires are? And when I say go into the kingdom, I mean for those who are not highly religious. I'm not speaking religion. I'm just speaking spirituality in terms of your highest self. When you look at your highest self, you see your goal as your highest you, the best you, giving on all of your love and goodness. I mean the highest you, where you are peaceful, you are bliss, you are abundant, you have all of your provisions, you have a sound mind, and you have healthy relationships. Everything that you can see for your highest good, you can bring about through your own strength, through your own fortitude, through your own ability. If you call that in and believe in yourself and operate on those principles, oh yeah, it doesn't matter what you call source, again, because source is all. So it really doesn't matter how you claim it or which part of it you claim. If you operate on those principles, you can manifest because you're an alchemist. You're a manifester. Your physicality, your vessel, processes energy and information. You are a machine, the highest level of intelligence and technology in this plane. Your central nervous system processes the information and causes you to be aware of your surroundings, aware of the energy flow around you, the information flow around you, bringing in all of that information and processing it and distributing it throughout your source. It is completely communicating all the time. Energy information transfer is happening all the time. All the time. Just like when we breathe, we give the trees what they need. When they breathe, they give us what we need. Transfer is happening all the time. The giving and receiving, the flow of life is happening all the time. Now, when we get up in here and we go in and we get stuck in those centers that are clogged up and that information isn't flowing, we need to purge. We need to release. We need to transmute and unlock that energy and have it push creation forward. And to do that, we have to dig deeper into those intentions and desires. And we'll do that on the next episode here on Tears and Wheat Tarot. With your girl, Lati, just digging into those tears so we can see how they project back to us. We do a lot of intention and we have a whole lot of desires. But are we doing it in a way that's calling in what's good for our highest self? And that's where we want to get to, that place of peace, on the pathway to peace, beloved. And so until the next time, the next now, yeah, Ashe. Mwah.